It's beautiful. When the Trinity is discussed without separating history from glory, then we are talking about ourselves. Res nostra agitur. Our reality. Our reality is, as Christians, and this is what makes us different from the Jews and the Muslims, the other religions of grace, is that God is one like us. God is one with us in Jesus Christ. Okay? And that is the Trinity. Because the Father sent him, the Son came, and the Holy Spirit brought him. Okay? That's our reality. That's our reality as Christians. This is who we are as Christians. Okay? I like that phrase, that Latin phrase, res nostra agitur. This is our reality. Okay? Our given reality. The Trinity is a confession of soteriological faith. What does it mean? Where do we find the Trinity? Well, we find it in history. What history? The history of what? What did he do for us? Salvation. Yes. So, when we look at the Trinity, we can only find the Trinity in our salvation. For us men and for our salvation, he came down from heaven. That's it. Okay? That's the place where we're going to find the Trinity, in our salvation. Okay? It's a soteriological confession. The Trinity beyond history. The thesis about the correspondence between the economic Trinity and the immanent Trinity is not exempt from limits and risks, of course. The economy cannot exhaust God's depth. History cannot and must not capture glory. No. Okay? This is what we see. This corresponds with this perfectly, but there is more over here than there is over here. Okay? Because this is a revelation and an intuition sometimes, but this is infinite. This is God. Okay? It's a window. It's not the whole reality. It's a window. But it's a privileged window. In fact, I think it's more than a window. I think it's a door. Because he came in and we go through it, through salvation, through Jesus Christ, But it's not everything. The economy cannot, I'm sorry, this is on the name of divine transcendence and freedom, which are also the foundation of marvelous gratuity of the Trinitarian love for us. Okay? So we cannot hold God hostage from him, from here to here. We cannot say, okay, I know the Bible by memory, I know the Catechism of the Catholic Church by memory, I have a perfect relationship with God. No, no. It works the other way around. You don't have a relationship with God. God has a relationship with you. And you keep it that way. Okay? Why? Because it is in his freedom that he bestows his love on you. And that freedom has to remain intact. We get this a lot in movements and, church life, right? Okay? Oh, I'm the best Christian because I come to daily mass every day, and I'm an EWTN fan, and I receive communion kneeling. No, you're not. You're a show. I always discourage them, and I feel bad sometimes because I'm sure they're sincere. But if they kneel, I can't see them. So I have to tell them, get up. I don't see you. I can't give you communion. I don't see you. I'm blind. And so they get up and, It's the temptation, from history. I do everything right. I know everything. So I can hold hostage heaven. No. It's the other way around. It's heaven comes on you, and this remains untouched and free. Because you don't have a relationship with God. Of course you don't. You can't. God has a relationship with you. The transcendence of the concealed nature of God in himself in respect to the Deo pro nobis can be taken into two ways. Deo pro nobis means, of course, you know what it means, right? God for us. But pro in Latin doesn't mean just for, and in this direction-wise, way. It means for us as an intention. Okay? God who is in favor of us. For us men and for our salvation, he came down from heaven. Deus pro nobis is God who is in favor of us. Okay? There's two ways of approaching God then. The apophatical sense, which is the admission of the ineffability of the divine mystery, which is adoration. We can relate to God by adoring. Apophatical means awe, being in awe. Okay, so you come before God. This is what's happening to my two congregants right now. They are in awe of the presence of God. Okay, and I'm not going to tell them, oh, you have to read the catechism right away, otherwise you're not doing it right. No, it's a perfect approach to the Trinity. And if they want to continue in awe for the rest of eternity, because they do it in a perfect and sincere way, they're going to acquire knowledge of God that many of us who have read many books don't have, like St. Hildegard, and they're going to end up in heaven, first row. Yeah, many people did that. Many saints did that. Okay? St. Hildegard is a nun, a German nun, who is the doctor of the church, of course, proposed by Pope Benedict. Yeah, we get it. German, who is a genius, knows God better than anybody else, and she didn't know how to read and write. All from prayer. Her treatise on Trinity is perfect. All from prayer. So in awe. You can approach God in this way. You can also approach Him in a more eschatological way. It's the consideration of what is coming. Hope in the God of promise. Okay? God makes a promise. And this is how God works. You know this, right? In the Bible. He makes a promise. He accompanies the people through the accomplishment of the promise. He delivers the promise. And just as He delivers the promise, He makes a new promise. And then He accompanies the people again, and He does it again and again and again. Why? Because this is the only way God can respect human freedom. So He does it this way, so you walk along with Him. You walk with Him and He walks with you. Okay? Like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, right? They walked with Jesus. He didn't tell them, okay, let me perform a couple of miracles for you guys so you get it. No. He talked to them about the scriptures that referred to Him, and their hearts were burning, but they were so stupid they couldn't see it. And so then they get to the Eucharistic table. He breaks the bread, reveals Himself in the Eucharist, and their eyes goes. The God of promise. If you look at your Eucharistic participation in this way, this is exactly what happens. You as deacons will stand there, and, with your little dalmatics and little manitas like this, saying, the Mass is ended, go in peace. You know what you're doing? You're promising to the people, Jesus is going to walk with you until we meet again. And some of those meetings, you don't know, will take place in heaven. And the ones who are going to announce it, like the angels that announce the birth of the Messiah, is going to be you at the liturgy. Okay? So it's not just a, go! No, wait. You're delivering, you're making a promise on behalf of God, on behalf of Jesus. He's going to be there for them. The Mass is ended, go in peace. Jesus is going to be with you till we meet again. And some of you will meet again in heaven. Isn't that amazing? Yeah? So please do it right, The other day, my poor deacon, one of them, panicked. And so he stayed like, and people were like, do we go? Do we stay? Do we sit? Do we kneel? What do we do? And he was panicking. It was Christmas, and we sing our Mass settings. We're singing the Mass, the Misa de Angelis. So it's complicated, So I just miss the people. And then he gets all embarrassed with me. Like, oh, Father, I never say anything because I know it's difficult. I know it's complicated. I was in the seminary for 16 years and make great boo-boos. You guys are in formation for 4 years. And you try your very best, and it has to be appreciated. But it's that. You're announcing. You're making the promise. He will go with you. Okay? Let's take a break. What are you doing? Playing solitaire again? Are you on Facebook?
I don't play that.
Neither do I. I don't know how.
I don't know how. I've never known that.
Gecko?
I took this down to 3.
Oh,
Well, it's just one long one.